Hello everybody, here is another edition of my video blog. For those of you who don't know, I am Adam. I'd start by pointing out the obvious thing right now. It's like I've had a sort of running theme with gimmicks the last couple of video blogs. I decided that today I would go for the Scottish hat, because I've made friends with a Scottish girl on Tumblr, and my mother is Scottish as well, or was rather. So it's kind of a homage to that, I suppose. So that's my gimmick for this one. Not much of a gimmick, I know, but anyway, I'll crack on with things. First of all, a little bit of a shout out first for one of my Tumblr followers, Shannon. You can find her on Tumblr with that. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I would read that as 800,813. I don't know if that's some kind of pop culture reference or a musical reference of some kind that I'm just not understanding. But if you're aware of Tumblr, that's where you can find her. I would recommend checking out her blog. She's a nice girl. Possibly too nice for her own good, after one of the statements she made earlier about how forgiving she is. But yeah, go check her out anyway. So the sort of theme for this one is happiness. Quite a broad term, I know. But you know, one of my old college friends, who I'm not really in as much contact with now as I would like, Dione, I've got her on Tumblr still, and she was posting pictures of her and another one of my Tumblr friends, Laura, and sorry, old college friends, Laura. And it just reminded me of the old days when I was at college with them, and it got me thinking about that was actually the last time that I was genuinely happy for sort of any kind of extended period of time, was when I was at college with those guys. You know, the future was still in my hands. College was going really, really, really well. I mean, like, top of the class for everything. You know, people seemed to genuinely like me. I was actually quite popular with a lot of people, and things, you know, things were going in my way, and you know, the future was looking quite bright as well. So I'd spend my weeks at college with my college friends, and then at the weekends I would spend it with my girlfriend, who was called Laura also at the time. By the time I'd started at college, we'd already been together. We'd only been together a few months, actually, I think, by the time I started at college there. But we were already really very happy. I mean, you know, that sort of year that I was at the college was probably the longest period of time that I can ever actually remember being happy. You know, I was in a relationship with a very beautiful girl who absolutely adored me, and at the time I adored her as well. I'd have literally done anything for her. I'd have died for her. Now, I'd been working before I'd gone back to college, so I'd had plenty of money saved up. So, sorry, I'm really itchy tonight. So I'd had plenty of money saved up. So you know, I was kind of living life to the full at college. You know, money wasn't an object. I was going to a lot of gigs. Like I said, I had a beautiful girlfriend who I was in love with and loved me. I'd made friends at college. The future looked bright. You know, I was happy. And that's kind of sad that, you know, that was a couple of years ago now. It's been over 2 years since I left college, and that was the last time that I was actually genuinely happy with my entire life. Since then, it's just been a series of moments. I suppose that all that life really is a series of moments. But you know, I haven't been happy between the individual events, and for my liking, the events are too far between for me to be genuinely happy. Like, for example, this summer I've had Bloodstock Festival, I've had Sonosphere Festival, and I've had a couple of nights out where I've been genuinely happy, and I've had a couple of days with Matt and the kids and that where I've been genuinely happy. But we're talking maybe 1 day a week at most. You know, we are talking literally a moment. The rest of the time, I've been not miserable, but no, not even depressed either. But it's just been I've been so disinterested in everything else. You know, nothing else has mattered whatsoever. I haven't cared about anything else. What kind of a life is that? I'm not even hating life. I'm not loving life. I'm not hating it. It was nothing. What kind of a life is that to lead? I hate not either loving or hating something. I hate being disinterested in something. It just doesn't seem worth it. What's the point? Not having an emotion either way. I think a lot of people would be quite happy that things aren't going badly in their life, but at least if things were going badly in my life, then there'd actually be something happening in my life. And so most of the summer I sat on Tumblr, which I'm not complaining about. It's kept me sane. It has definitely kept me sane over the last sort of 3 or 4 months that I've really been using it. And I haven't really been doing a lot else, to be fair. That's just part and parcel of growing up in the situation that I'm in. I literally don't really have any friends left in town. I don't really have the money to go and visit other friends more regularly, so it's just been a case of making do with what I've got. I suppose that's what everybody does. I suppose. I mean, like, everybody else seems to get on with it better than I do, or at least they pretend to. But I've never been one to pretend. If I'm not happy with something, I will say. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've just been really lonely as well, which has contributed to me being unhappy. But anyways, it's been Bank Holiday weekend, and apart from today, Bank Holiday Monday, it hasn't been a bad weekend. Friday I went to the pub with my brother and had a really nice Chinese, and that was nice. It was simple. It wasn't a huge night, but it was nice. Saturday I went to a party in Lincoln. It was a fucking disaster. But it was funny. It was funny. It wasn't a disaster in a really bad way. It was a disaster in a really kind of funny way, where it's like, well, I'm really glad it wasn't my party. Let's just put it that way. And we ended up, Robin and I, because I went with Robin, we ended up leaving before the last train back from Lincoln. So that should tell you what kind of a party it was. They started at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and like, well, typical kids starting a party at 4 in the afternoon. But it was definitely better than what we expected. Like, we were making bets about how many people were actually going to be there, and we thought it would just be the guy whose party it was, his brother, and then Robin and I. But there was a lot more people there than that. But the people that were there, proper, like, I don't really like the word chav, but I suppose, if I was going to sum them up in a way, that would be the one that I used to do it. I would call them a chav. So yeah. So they were chavs, really quite uneducated, and they weren't very funny either. So I managed to duck out of the party for a bit, and I was quite drunk, actually, to be fair, because I drank really quite a lot. I drank all the booze that I took, and then I bought some more booze while I was there. I drank everything, which we're talking like 10 cans of Guinness, 2 big bottles of like Bitch Pop stuff. I can't remember what brand it was now. And I've been doing Sambuca shots as well at the party. I drank all that in like 3.5 hours or something. So I was quite drunk. I wasn't wasted. I knew what I was doing, and I remember it all. So I wasn't that drunk, but I was drunk. I managed to persuade Tony to come and see me for 10 and 15 minutes, which sadly was the highlight of the night. Seeing an ex-girlfriend for 10 or 15 minutes and just talking to her, the highlight of your night. That's pathetic. But it really was. It was nice to see her. I hadn't seen her for a while, and I do miss her. And I know she misses me as well, even if she doesn't like to admit it. But there we go. So yeah, that was Saturday, and then yesterday I went to the cinema with my sister and her sort of new boyfriend. They're not really that new. I've known about them for a while, but my sister only introduced him to my dad yesterday, so that was a bit different. And her ex-boyfriend still doesn't know. And that's quite complicated because her ex-boyfriend is actually good friends, or was good friends with her current boyfriend. It's kind of a secret. So yeah. Like, for example, after we went to the cinema, my sister was like, "Do you want to go for a couple of drinks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, definitely." Expecting that she'd meant go into town for a couple of drinks. Of course, because they're a secret, they can't be seen in public yet. Not in our hometown anyway. So we ended up having a couple of drinks at a quiet place in Scunthorpe, which is where we'd been to the cinema. So it was nice. I really get on with her. I get on with her sort of like boyfriend much better than the last one. I don't approve of him. I don't think he's a good match for her. But I get on with him really, really well. He's really cynical. He likes the shock and awe tactics that I do with the way that he speaks to people. He's got a really warped sense of humour as well. So that's why he and I get on really, really well. It's like perhaps he's a little bit too much like me in that respect, which is what I don't get why my sister likes him so much. And he's not attractive either. Her last boyfriend was like, I'm not gay, but I can appreciate a fine-looking fellow, and her last boyfriend was a good-looking fellow, even if he was a bit simple in the head. Whereas this one, he's an intelligent guy. He works for the council as well. He's going places, but he's just really ugly. I'm like, I know that's really shallow, but it's like, does my sister really find him sexually attractive? Because that's obviously what brought them together in the first place. That kind of chemistry. But there we go. As long as he's making my sister happy. I had the little brotherly talk with it. I warned him if he upset my sister really badly, he hurt her properly, then I'd have to kill him, and I actually would. But we'll see how it goes. And then today I've been sat on Tumblr doing fuck all. I guess I could have made more of an effort. I could have seen Robin. I don't think Matt was available today, but I could have found out. I could have found out what my sister was doing. I could have found out what one of my brothers were doing. But again, I've just been so disinterested. It's like I can't motivate myself to even be happy, to make myself happy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've kind of run over the time now that I'm really supposed to talk for. So I'll leave it there. Good talking to you again. I hope you enjoyed the gimmick. And if you got, I've got a cowboy hat which I'm thinking about wearing for the next one. But I had other hats as well. My hair's a real mess there. You could see it through the hats with this one. You can't, so it was fine. So yeah, help me think of a new gimmick for the next one. Maybe I could sit with my back to the camera or upside down. I don't know if that's possible. I guess we could try it upside down. But anyway, get in contact if you want me to talk about something. Any questions, you know where to find me. So yeah, take it easy. Yeah, see you later. Bye.